It's wonderful entertainment to be here on a Thursday night, and it's way better than some of the programs we watch. Well, A Place to Call Home and so on, some lovely programs, but this is very entertaining, and it's a great privilege to be among so many talented writers and presenters. I also have a Christmas story every year. Sorry, but every year I do my own Christmas cards and I write little stories to go with them. I think some of you have heard. This one's called The Shawl, a Christmas story. Benjamin was not at all like the other boys in and around Bethlehem. A dreamer, he spent his days talking to imaginary friends. Other children either ignored him or laughed at him. Some even threw stones. The youngest of 5, Benjamin was born without knowing his father. His older brothers, Hevel and Uri, hired out as shepherds, and his sister, Heda, cleaned and washed bedding for the town innkeeper, while his mother cooked and mended clothes to keep the family together. The family lived in a small winemaker's hut on a hill above the valley where healthy grapevines once grew. Nobody ever talked of the father who lived in shame away from those who had once known and loved him as a successful winemaker. This winter had been the coldest in memory, with nighttime frost and snow on the hills and even in the valley between where thin sheep grazed. Benjamin, his mother called him, I want you to take this hot lentil soup to your brothers. Stop dreaming and get on with you. Here, take my shawl to keep yourself warm. And don't dawdle on the way. The boy ran zigzagging between boulders and leaping over dead olive boughs and twisted vines. Even for Benjamin, it was far too cold for daydreaming. In the valley, sheep wandered between patches of frosty grass and scrub. The shepherd's tent was empty, with no sign of shepherds nearby. He looked to the far side of the valley and up the limestone hill towards Bethlehem, where, bathed in an extraordinary light, a crowd appeared to be gathering close to the traveller's inn. Believing his brothers to be with the crowd, Benjamin left the soup in the tent and went to find them. On his way, he stopped to rescue a tiny lamb caught in brambles and brought it with him, giving it to his eldest brother. Then, past shepherds, travellers and gawkers, including the innkeeper, Benjamin pushed his way into a stable. He saw and heard a young mother crooning to a tiny baby wrapped only in rough linen, lying amid hay placed to feed oxen and donkeys. Poor baby must be cold, he thought. He took the shawl from his shoulders and gently placed it over the baby in the manger. Thank you, dear child. The mother smiled at him and returned the shawl, wrapping it once more about the boy's shoulders. You yourself will find the air cold. Your heart alone makes us warm. The mother gave Benjamin a hug, and the man who was with her ruffled his hair. Benjamin left happy and excited to talk to his brothers, who waited for him outside. We have to get back to the herd, Havel, the older brother, said. You hurry home or mother will be worried. Filled with wonder and eager to tell his mother what he had seen, Benjamin raced towards home. Not far from the edge of town, Benjamin came across a beggar dressed in rags and ringing a little bell. As the boy drew close, the beggar waved him away. Stay away! Unclean! Stay away! Benjamin saw that the beggar's face and hand were covered with dark scabs. The other hand was wrapped, hanging limp. Where do you live? He asked. You must be very cold. Despite the beggar's protestations, the boy approached and once more, taking the shawl from his shoulders, wrapped it around the poor man. The beggar shouted out his thanks as Benjamin skipped off towards home, only looking back once before turning out of sight. Benjamin couldn't wait to tell his mother about the baby, the warm light that shone from above, and the angel voices that sang to him all the way home. "You're soaked through, you silly child, and where's my shawl? You wicked boy." With that, Benjamin's mother shook her head and threw her hands in the air. He was beyond hope, but still she loved him. Doing the only thing she could, she gathered him tight in her arms. Just then, the door swung open. There, holding the shawl, was the beggar. This time, his face and hands were without blemish, the scabs gone. Benjamin's mother collapsed in disbelief and tears, then whispered to her son, "Your father has come home."